94.3 The Point, the Jersey Shore's hit music channel. It's 6:49. The Lou and Liz Care for Kids Radiothon.
Rain today. Could be heavy at times this afternoon and this evening and becoming windy too. Highs in the 40s.
We're at 48 this morning. It's cloudy. There's some, it's a little misty, and even some areas have a little bit of light rain at 94.3 The Point. We are here with Terry Loftus from the Friends of the Monmouth County Child Advocacy Center, and our very good friend, the former prosecutor, John Kaye, is here. Guys?
Good morning.
Morning. I have with us today John Kaye. This is the man I told you before. It's been his dream to make this happen. And I'm guessing it's probably 14, 15 years ago when I first met John. And he talked about this, and I know at that point he was putting together the Monmouth County Task Force for Prevention of Child Abuse. And I was involved in another organization. We were able to make some donations to that, and we got talking on that, and here we are now with the Friends of. And John Kaye.
Good morning. I want to thank everybody for all the work that they've done so far. It's tremendous that the building is up, sorta. It's not finished, but I went to the grand opening, which was weather then, sort of like we're going to have today.
That's right.
It was,
That's right.
as everybody remembers, cold and rainy, but we had a big crowd that was also sharing our dream, and part of the dream's come true. So what you're doing here for the next 30 hours is going to help us finish the dream, I hope, complete it.
I think it's difficult for a lot of people in our area, especially in our area, such a nice area, to comprehend just what it is that's going on. It's stuff that we wish wasn't happening. It's stuff that we really, frankly, rather not think about at times, but it's so important to think about for the kids. What was it that prompted you to decide this was necessary, the Advocacy Center was needed for our kids?
Well, you had to realize what my end game was. I mean, I wanted to prosecute the people that were committing the crimes. Everybody that was involved with this, they had different things. I mean, the social workers, they had one goal, the doctors had another goal. But from my point of view, I wanted to put these people in jail. And it was difficult when you had a child being interviewed by a whole series of different people. They'd give a statement to the doctor, and the doctor would make a note of it. There'd be a statement to the social worker, then to the nurse, then to somebody else. And by the time the child had repeated this story a number of times, little discrepancies started to creep in. You know, the child omitted a fact or added a fact, or after a while the child just got angry and didn't want to talk at all. So now we get to a trial situation, and you can see what defense attorneys are going to do with that child. They're going to make it look like the kid made it up, he lied, and this causes
How
tremendous
horrible that
pain.
is for not only the children but their parents. I mean, for the families to have their child who's already been victimized now become victimized on a witness stand.
Exactly, and so the whole idea was to get everybody in one building, have essentially one statement, and go from there, so that the doctors would cure the child the best they could, the social workers would work with the family as best they could, and we could get the bad guy and prevent future problems for not only this child but perhaps other victims.
Well, I'd like to speak to that too. You know, and I mentioned before, and I've mentioned statistics before, 700 cases, over 700 cases prosecutorial level last year. But I'd like to remind people, when I say 700 cases, you know, one of the cases last year, it was pretty much publicized in the paper, had over 400 counts. So you're talking one case that had over 400 counts. See, that's the problem. These guys that stay out there, and the longer they're out there, they reoffend, they reoffend, they reoffend. Many, many children. And that's the problem. That's why it's so important to get them off the street. Because we say one case that reached prosecutorial level, but within that one case, how many victims were there? That's the key.
And John, you've been involved in this or started this over 10 years ago, 15 years ago perhaps.
Right.
That means nothing's gotten better, because we need a center like this to help stop the abuse or get the bad guys behind bars.
Well, I agree that the center is the centerpiece, so to speak. But by the same token, there's a lot more people that are dedicated to eradicating this problem. The police are better trained. Just about every group that works with this is more concentrated and is working harder. But they all agree, you need the center. There's no question about it.
So our phone lines are open, because what we need to get this done is obviously pledges and the money to make it happen, for the help for these children and their families, and to make our area a safer place, quite frankly. 732-897-8930. Now, a lot of people in the past year, might have a little less extra money than they have in years past, and it might be a little bit more of a struggle to make a donation. But I ask you, John, what would you say to a family who's considering making this donation? What makes it so important to pledge whatever you can?
Well, I think the big deal is that you can't look at children as if they were just little adults and it can just be fixed. They need special treatment, and that's what the center provides. There's no place like it in this county. I've said it my whole life. This is the best place I've ever seen to live in. I'm very proud of this county. And the fact that we didn't have a center for so long was an embarrassment to me personally.
And other places have it, and we
Yeah.
want the best in Monmouth County, so of course we want it for our
Absolutely.
children.
So I think it's something that's really crucial for the well-being of the community.
All right. Thank you so much, John.
Good.
Always a pleasure.